Hey, how you doing? How you doing? This is Edwin Yearwood from Fire Inspirations. Listen here. I ain't been around for a minute, but this is a quick video. I got another email, you know, from this gentleman. He was, we're not going to say any names, but I was happy that not happy with the situation that he's going through, but I was happy that the fact that he was willing to share his situation. So this guy, I'm gonna get straight to it. This guy, is from another country. He's from another country, and he tells me in an email. He tells me that he has been through some things for the past few years. You know what I'm saying? 5, 6 years, maybe 7. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about him. He's a child of. He has like it's 5 girls, and it's him and his brother. So his parents had 7 kids. He's the second oldest. So his dad is old school that the mom stays home and watch the kids, and then do the housework, which is a job, a major job, and then he go be the breadwinner. But he says he loved the fact that his father worked hard, and you know, he said when he grew up, he wanted to be like his dad. You know, he loved all of them. He didn't treat none of them differently, and he spent time, even though it was 7 kids, he spent time with each one of them by themselves, gave them their alone time. So, they left their country. He came here when he was probably, he said 13, I think. So he came here, he came here when he was 13. His father really worked even harder because now he's in another country. So, you got to get that name out there. So then time goes by, and the son, he loves working with his hands. He was a carpenter first, and then he decided to do masonry, So he used to do, work his regular job, which wasn't carpentry. I think he said he worked at a restaurant, work his regular job during the week, and then on weekends he did like steps and sidewalks and stuff like that. He liked it so much that he worked really hard, and then he bought a truck, and then one thing led to another. So we're gonna speed it on. Next thing you know, he said around 28, he started his own masonry business. It was him and 2 other guys. Well, 2 other guys worked for him. They still did things on the weekends because he had to get his name out there. Well, speed it up. After a while, his company becomes big. He jumps from 1 truck to 10 trucks. Doing steps. Now he's doing whatever, anything dealing with masonry, he's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now he's doing foundations of houses and stuff like that. So after that, now he didn't save some money, bought some land, built his house, and now he's in this big house by himself. So then he said he started to date, and one of the things that being that he had so many siblings, he always wanted a bunch of kids. But God will only tell you how many kids you have. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want, but God will give you what He wants. But anyway, and that's my opinion. So he end up, what he do? So he says in the email he end up starting to date and stuff like that, and he ended up meeting this young lady. You know what I'm saying? He said she was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? He said she looked like she just jumped out of a magazine. So one thing led to another. They start dating and stuff like that. He really, was wanted to take things slow because he wanted a wife. He didn't, of course you gotta go through the girlfriend thing and then all of that, but he wanted a wife. So he was filling her out, saying what she was about and stuff. So they end up dating in a couple of years. So now I think, now he said he was like 30, 31. You know what I'm saying? He wants kids, but he want to do it the right way. So, being that they've been dating for a few years, he asks her to marry him, and they get married. She moves in. What he says, one of the conversations he asked her, what is her dreams? What is it that she wants to do? So his wife like clothes, makeup, and all of this, and so he brought a little piece of land and what did he do? Oh, he made a boutique and then a salon on one side and stuff like that. But he told her before he do all of that, you got to go to school, you got to get them license right. We're not gonna half-step it. If we're gonna go into this, we're gonna go into this 100%. So then when he goes in, she does it. She gets her license and stuff like that. But then when she says it, she says, I don't want to, even though I got my license, I don't want to be a person that work. I want to be a business owner. You know what I'm saying? So he the part that they was at was too small. So what he did is he asked, can he have the there was a empty store right next to them. So he ended up getting that, and then they asked, can he knock the wall down? So he knocks the wall down and extend the salon and the boutique. So it was the boutique on one side, the whole boutique on one side, and then the whole salon on the other side. And then what she did is she rented stalls. And then now they got to pay her as well as whatever her hands work on. So they was doing real good. What I'm saying? They married, they doing real good. She had asked, he had talked about kids, he said, but then she had told him that, listen, before we have any kids, let's get my business up and running. Because when I do get pregnant, I'm going to have to take time off. So he was like, okay, good. So he says that they started, when he brought the conversation up again, they wanted to start a family. Now my thing is I don't know where that comes from, but if you marry and you have an intercourse course and you're not using protection and all of that, then you already tried to start a family. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, they tried to start a family, and he, you know what I'm saying? What do you say? A few years go by. Now he like 35, 36. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I don't understand, why I'm not, why we not having any kids. You know what I'm saying? So they said he told him, he's going to go get checked. And he went to go get checked and see if it was him or anything like that. And I'm just speeding the story up. He went to go get checked to see if it was him. And it took all these tests and all of this, and the doctor was like, you're fine. It just maybe it ain't your time, So the doctor says to my man, he was like, well, your test and all of this is fine. I don't see why you can't have any kids other than, if God say you can't have any kids. But did it ever occur to you that it may be your wife? So he was like, well, my wife got a big family. So the doctor was like, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So this guy brought the conversation up with his wife. She went in, ain't nothing wrong with me. We breed. I'm like, damn, breed, because that's what he said in the email. We breed. We have kids. There's a bunch of us. I got a large family. So he was like, well, if there's nothing wrong, then let's go get checked out. So she kept blowing it off, and and she's like, it ain't nothing wrong with me. We'll just keep on trying. So he was like, all right, we'll just keep on trying. He didn't want to argue on, stuff like that. So now he 36, 37, maybe 38. He says to the doctor, listen, doc, my wife is fine. Maybe it's me. Can we have, can we check, do some more tests and stuff like that? So the doctor says, listen, there's only so many tests that we can do. There's only so many tests that we can do. So I did them all already. So, uh, why pay to get this done if you already had it done? So he brings it up to the wife again, and she was like, I don't, really don't want to have this conversation. We had this conversation before, and can we just keep trying? So he said he let it go by. He was upset, but he let it go by. So they was, on doing their careers. He got big contracts that he's doing, and she's about to open up another boutique, and so they're doing real well, but he brings it up again. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I want kids. Can you please go get checked and stuff like that? So she has an argument, she makes an argument and stuff like that, she's getting, he says she's getting up there in age, and that's one of the things that he was worried about, that she get up in age, and then there's definitely, an age where if she tried to have any kids, it'll be complications. So he gets on, really stresses it and stuff like that. Skipping on, he says he just let it, what I'm saying? He was like, I'm not going to keep arguing over it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So to make a long story short, then, they get ready to go. He was telling them that they was getting ready to go to a vacation. So he's going back to his country, and he says, because the flight is so long, they don't believe in going there 1 week or 2 weeks. So they're going to be there, like he said, 6 to 8 weeks, which is 2 months. It's his company, it's her company. They could do that. They got people that run it. They don't have any kids, so they could do that. Well, my man tells his wife, well, she says she's not going to her shop today. She's gonna start getting stuff ready. And he was like, well, I got some contracts that I gotta seal and approve, and then some contracts that he has to end. So what happened is when she went home, getting ready. Now listen to this part. This part made me mad. So now he home. She's home. He goes home. You know what I'm saying? Getting some money ready, and getting his stuff ready. He usually parks his car in the front, but because the way he built it, there's a garage in the back because he's gonna put the cars up. Because he's going to be gone for a while. So he goes up. She's on the phone. She ain't hear him come in. She ain't pay attention to the camera or none of that stuff. So he goes in. He walks up through the step. The dog barking. He walks up. He gets ready to go in the room. And she's on the phone. She's on the phone with her friend. And they talking about the situation with having kids and how. So she says, He said he heard her say, well, he keeps, talking about her husband. He keeps wanting to have kids and all of this, and we've been trying and all of this, and we ain't, I didn't get pregnant, and, I don't want any kids. She don't know that he's on the, she doesn't know that he's listening to her. Like he didn't even walk completely in the room. He's listening to her. She got her back turned toward him. I don't want any kids. I don't want to deal with that pain. I don't want those lines, the stretch marks or whatever, she called them lines, but it's stretch marks. I don't want those stretch marks. I want to be able to just pick up and go. I like traveling. I don't want kids. I don't want any kids. So her friend on the phone said, you should have said that to him at the beginning, but she was like, but you husband and wife, y'all having sex. Why you ain't get pregnant? She was like, well, my husband has been going to see if he's all right, and he done went a couple of times, spend that money, but I'm pretty sure he all right. So the friend says, well, how would you know if y'all been trying to have kids and get pregnant? She says, girl, the reason why we not having any kids is because, oh man, what is this thing called? I forgot what it was called, but she gets this incision that it's not allow her to have kids. You know, it ain't birth control, and it ain't whatever it's called. But she gets this implant to where she can't have kids, and the thing lasts for 5 years. They've been together going on 10, so she's getting ready to have her second one because this thing, you can only leave it in 5 years. And she's going on and on. And the friend was like, the friend on the phone was like, listen, you better say something because this is going to blow up in your face. He was like, no, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I don't want no kids. I don't like kids. You know, I like people kids, but I don't want kids. I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to get up in the middle of the night. I don't want to do none of that stuff. And plus, my body. It's my body. I can do what I want. And I don't want to destroy my body. My man on the other side of the door, heartbroken. Because all these years that y'all been trying to have kids, the wife know that why she not pregnant. And you got this man believing that it's him. And he's trying and really want kids. Wife grimy. Wife is grimy. To make a long story short, my man was so heartbroken. He walks in the room like he didn't hear her. He tells her, let's get ready to go on vacation. He tries to hide it, and he says to her, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible person. She was, what's going on? Why are you talking to me like that? You're a terrible person. You knew that I wanted to have kids. And I love you. And you knew that I wanted to have kids. And you've been preventing yourself to have kids all this time, making it look like it was me. And, now listen to this, and willing to go through the process of adopting kids. But then he said, what's the use of adopting kids if you don't like kids? So not only do you sit there and lie and go through, and we going through all of these meetings and looking at these kids and getting these kids' hopes up and stuff like that, and then you got their hopes up, and then you probably can have kids, and you've been preventing to have kids. He's like, I'm done. If you can keep that from you that long, then what else can you do? If you didn't want kids at the beginning of the relationship, you should have said something. She was like, well, I didn't want to say anything because I know how much you want kids and stuff like that. He was like, man, listen here, don't change that. I mean, don't put that on him. You should have said something. Don't you think that you should have said something? He leaves. They don't go on vacation. He ends the relationship. He was like, yo, you lied. So she was like, you should give me a second chance. He was like, no. Broke his heart. No. And then they still live in the same house because it's a big house and stuff like that. But he ended up moving out the house. He had the house before her, so she didn't get the house. She signed that little prenup. She signed that. She leaves. He leaves. They go. They separate ways. He get a divorce. He tell her, listen, you can keep the store, both of them. You better handle them because the months that when you couldn't handle them, when there wasn't enough customers, he was just paying the bill. So you better do what you got to do. You went to school. I paid for you to go to school. You better learn how. You better start using them hands now. He leaves. He sells the house. He said there's too many memories in there. He sells the house. Heartbroken. He goes back to his country for a couple of months. Then he comes back. He works hard, really works hard, getting these big. Now he in government contracts, he said. Then my man says he end up going to, he started dating again. Make a long story short, he date, he get married again. He has a kid, a little boy. So all this time it's been her. Now what I want to know is, leave in the comments that, me personally, she's 100% wrong. 100% wrong. And I brought this conversation up to another friend of mine, and they was like, well, he should have, no, he said it at the beginning. She should have said something. She was 100% wrong. Yes, that is her body. Yes, she can decide to have, if she want kids or not. But you didn't say anything, she didn't say anything to him. So now what happens? Now you done mess up your whole marriage because you kept that to yourself, and then you talking to your friend sounded like you bragging about it, like you all right with what you was doing. She 100% grimy. So if you I know this video a little long, but if you can leave a comment and tell me what you think about this, I highly appreciate it. I'm asking you to subscribe. I sent the email back to the guy, and to see how he was doing. He was like, and I asked my sister, well, where's his ex-wife? He was like, I don't know. After I left, I didn't turn back around. I didn't look. I didn't do none of that. I changed my cell phone number. I sold the house. I don't know. And I'm like, wow, how you love somebody. Now I understand what she did. But he turned it off. You know what I'm saying? Done. So you could comment about that. How do you, how do you just turn love off just like that? Can someone hurt you that bad so you just turn that love off? It ain't like she cheated on it. Well, lying is lying. So I guess not. I guess I could have did that too. But yeah, in the comments, tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? Give me your words. Yes, this video is long, and I'm gonna start making them shorter. But sometimes I get long-winded. I'm not editing anything. I'm not doing none of that. So this is Edwin Yearout from Fire Inspirations. Thank you. God bless you, and I love you.